Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another Zenless Zone Zero video. And are you, like me, someone who's getting up there in age a little bit? Maybe your reflexes and reactions aren't what you used to be. Are you someone who enjoys turn-based games like Honkai Star Rail? Are you somebody who enjoys strategy games, tactical games? And in short, are you a little bit worried that the more technically advanced characters, even though they might be higher on a tier list, are going to be lower on your personal tier list because you can't pilot them very well? That's my boat. That's where I'm coming from with Zenless Zone Zero. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch a video by EO who breaks down the 5-star standard characters in Zenless Zone Zero based on his background as a fighting game player, someone who's technically better at the game than me, and then I'm going to make my choice based on what looks the easiest and what looks the best on the screen, because look, I mean, it's going to be on my screen a lot, so I want it to look good. So let's run through this thing. Here's EO's video. We're going to do a reaction to this, and let's do it. Let's see what we're looking at here.
First up, we're going to talk about Soldier 11, who for some of you may seem like an upgraded Ambi or a fire version of Ambi, but I promise you.
Okay, first of all, Soldier 11. I like the look of this kit. Like, the first thing I can say is I do like the way the kit looks, but it looks a little young. One thing I'm worried about was in this Zone Zero, several of the... Look, I don't want to play a kid, right? I'm almost 40. I don't want to play a 14-year-old. So Soldier 11, at least from this angle, looks a little bit childish, but let's see.
This character has fast attacks and some pretty incredible damage when you know what you're doing with her. Now,
okay, okay, fast attacks good, incredible damage good. When you know what you're doing with her, we'll see.
Obviously, you could use her skill and then just mash slash, which is going to be your fire suppression. This is going to be
okay, use skill, mash attack. Yeah, we can do that.
Give you a little bit of a boost. And by a little bit, I mean a decent amount. You're going to be getting anywhere between 3 to 6% of a damage increase.
What does she look like, though?
On top of it.
Hold on, what's she look like? Okay, here's what she looks like. Okay, you know what? She's old enough looking. Like, she could be young, could be like a teenager, but at least she doesn't look like a total kid. She looks pretty young, but not a total kid at least. Back to the video.
Beta, this lasted around 10 seconds, give or take, so it's a little bit tricky to get the timing down. But what's really cool about Soldier 11 is that she's actually more of a fighting game character than she is a mashing character.
Fighting game character, mash it, like, look, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I think that Soldier 11 looks to be off the table to me. He does break down her skills a little bit more, but let's roll the next one.
Next up, we have Koleda, who honestly was tied for first for me for a little bit of time until I did more testing and figuring things out and really looking at the footage and kit. Koleda is one of those characters that has some insane daze build up when paired up with Ben, but when she's by herself, her daze is still as strong. Or maybe not still just as strong, but it's around there. Basically, when you pair up Ben and Koleda, who's
now, wait, Ben is the bear, and I believe we get the bear for free. So if you're somebody who's like low spender, free to play, and you end up pulling Koleda here, that's definitely a boost. I'm almost sure that we get this bear for free. So if it bear's at least a 4-star character instead of a 5, so you'll probably run into him by accident. But that is definitely a feather in the hat of this girl.
By the way, Ben, not Koleda. She gets an over 600% multiplier towards daze, which is huge. Along with being the shortest character in the game, she also has short, simple, and powerful combos that you can.
Short, simple, powerful combos? Wait, have we found a winner?
Mess up. I mean, literally, it's 4
cannot
hits.
mess up.
If you somehow mess up 4 hits,
we'll see about that.
We might need to take you off the sticks. Koleda is also one of, if not the second strongest dazer in the game. At one point, she was the first. But I have some information that I'll share later on in the video, which kind of defeats that now. But she's amazing at being a flex stun character for a number of teams. What I mean by that is that you build up the daze. Certain characters are proficient at doing that. These are your stun characters. Usually, they have like a hammer next to their icon or their name, something like that. And so these type of characters are going to be what you want on the team to help build up that daze meter really quickly.
So is what I'm hearing here that, like, even if you don't have the perfect team comp for her, you could work her into your other team comps? Because I think that's another good thing. So far, I've loved everything I've heard about this girl.
So that you can get the stun multiplier, get a lot more damage percent going on, and then get your full.
Plus, that bear looks cool as shit. So, like, if you're running her and the bear, we're off to a pretty good start.
Combos activated because when the enemy is dazed, they cannot move. That's also how you get your chain attack started. And specifically,
also, if the enemy cannot move, it's easier to play the game. positive.
Specifically in Coletta's case, not only being able to give herself energy when she uses her EX special attacks, but her chain attack is also huge. Her quick assist attacks are also pretty big on giving her energy as well as more daze. And just like other daze characters in the game, anything with stun multipliers, she's going to be able to help you increase how you're getting to that point. Not to mention that her W engine is one of the best, if not the best, standard W engine in the game.
So W engine, let's talk about that for a second. So W engines are items in Zenless Zone Zero that can be equipped on characters to increase their stats. They're the equivalent of weapons in Genshin Impact. So okay, so W, she has one of the best weapons in the game. All right, that's good.
Now, unlike Soldier 11, Coletta will not be buffing herself in the same manner. She's not going to give herself damage percent or attack percent or even fire defense reduction or penetration.
All right, that's all I need to hear about that. Let's go to the next one. Coletta's high up there. Like, she definitely looks like somebody, and especially if she's pairing with this bear and the bear is indeed free, then that is way better than Soldier 11. So let's see if any others can dethrone Coletta as my choice so far.
Next up, we have Grace, baby girl. And honestly, Grace is probably one of, if not my favorite characters to play in the game. It's one of those things as a fighting game player where I like characters with movement. I like characters that have options, and I like things to be able to be done on a high execution level so that I can sit there and pretend that I'm mashing buttons and I feel good about it. Grace is almost perfect for that.
Wait. Did he wait, pretend like I'm mashing buttons so I feel good about myself? I think, guys, wait, hold up. That might be exactly how I plan to play this game.
She's a high mobility character that stacks up Anomaly for free incredibly fast. Anomaly is going to be the elemental statuses that you have in the game. It's not as similar to elemental reactions like Genshin Impact, or even something, I can't even think of what it would be like in Starro, to be honest. Like, it's not like Break Effect at all. That's closer to the stun meter. But in this game, the Anomaly buildup is honestly easier compared to Pokemon. Like, if I'm using Poison or Freeze or Burn, there's a certain buildup that you need to do, right? So X amount of attacks or X amount of physical, for instance, application will then apply this. And so the better or more.
So she like specializes in this. I mean, she's jumping around the map. To me, like, if I see like something I can do, something I'm capable of doing is bouncing around, like just trying to stay out of like damage range. If she's bouncing around and tossing grenades, that does seem like something I'm capable of doing with Grace here. And if we're to look her up, she definitely looks to be more in the age range of like a waifu type character that I'd like to play. So, I mean, so far I haven't heard anything I don't like about this chick.
Or you're able to do that, the better that character is at building up Anomaly. Now, in Grace's case, and I've seen a number of guides and no one goes over this because a lot of people just don't understand how to play Grace. Grace is one of those characters where you can do anything within her basic attacks or her combo strings, and this will not be interrupted. This is very strong because another character, Reena, who we'll talk about later on, basically has the same type of kit or the same actions, passive, whatever it is that you want to call it. Now, with this in mind, this essentially means that you can do something like basic attack 1-2 special grenade, basic attack 1-2 special grenade, basic attack grenade, dodge, basic attack. It's endless, almost endless, if you will. And if you have high execution, if you're a very strong execution type player like myself, or just
wait, a very strong no, that's not me, but okay.
If you play fighting games, if you do things with high execution, you'll get used to it. If you definitely play fighting games, you'll immediately click with this character. I'm not saying that you should pick Grace, but I am letting you know as a fighting game player that you will immediately gravitate towards Grace because of what she allows you to do.
Okay, that's enough. So Grace, let me give you the pluses here for Grace that I see. One, looks good, is old enough to for me to say looks good and not feel bad about myself. Seems like you have a lot of different places, like you can use her buttons in a lot of different order, which I think is good. Might be a little too technical. I think so far I'm on the Coletta train, but if I pulled a Grace early, I might not re-roll that account. So I think Grace does look good, and I like the idea of her like building up the he didn't know what to call it, like status. It wasn't like a status effect or break effect in this game, but he kind of he compared to like poison in other games. Okay, so next is Nekomata. Let's watch a little Nekomata stuff.
After that, we can go into Nekomata, which is out of all the DPS characters, Nekomata is my favorite. I think Nekomata is slept on, super cracked. Physical is destructive in this game. It's OD. Assault is crazy. Basically, what Assault does is it snatches a certain percentage of the enemy's HP bar. It doesn't matter what the enemy is. So hypothetically, if Assault was always going to snatch 25% of X enemy, like let's say Nekomata always did Assault, when she triggers Assault, she snatches away 25%, right? That means no matter what the HP is on the enemy, she is going to cut away 25% of their HP.
Okay, now that's really strong. That's super strong. The problem is she's like 11 years old. And like, I just can't, like, it's going to be hard for me to get some of those that like you saw the video, like you guys all saw it. Look at this. Like here, watch this. Watch this action right here.
So hypothetically, if Assault was always going to snatch 25% of,
she's jumping all over the map. That's good. She's like, well, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can get behind that. This might just have to be a pass.
Snatches away 25%, right? That means no matter
what, looks really strong, but might just have to be a pass.
It's what we call plinking. And I have a video on that.
Oh shit, there's advanced mechanics. Nope.
Do that in the video.
Next
we can talk about Reena, who is
okay, good. I honestly feel good about going next on that one, because like I have a little bit of a problem with super young looking characters, as you could tell. Like it's just weird.
I guess we're now in my top two. The top two characters that I believe would be the best.
Okay, so I pulled this girl in beta 1. I did not get to play in beta 2 or 3, and the game has changed a lot since closed beta 1, but I did pull Reena in closed beta 1, and she's not like a main DPS character, I can tell you that. She like is able to do damage when she's kind of off the field, I believe, with her puppets, but we'll see here. She's definitely old enough to qualify.
5-star standards for you to choose from, given the fact that you know what you're doing. The reason I'm saying this is because you really need to take some time to understand not only the game, but the team. This is a team-based game that doesn't stress the fact that you need 3 characters. You don't need 3 on a team. You can work with 2, you can work with 1, it doesn't really matter. You can treat it like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, she's not going to roll by herself. I'll just tell you that right now. Like, she's not somebody who you're going to just, like, do that one-person team with her. But I think that's what he's saying, too. I think he's saying, like, she can go to a lot of teams.
Or even Skullgirls, if you're familiar with that, where it just depends on how you want to play the game. Reena, in the particular case, has a very unique kit that you need to pay attention to and understand before you just slap her on a team and then expect her to do something. So,
well, see, like, I think that's a point I want to make. I'm very capable of paying attention to things. I'm very capable of understanding things. It's that, like, okay, you need to, like, frame by frame, okay, this frame comes, push this button, this frame comes, immediately be able to push that button to pull off the right combo. And if you can do that, this character's S tier. If you can't do that, they're like B tier. That's what I'm worried about. This chick, you just need to kind of understand what she's doing. She's not somebody who you're going to have to, like, be able to do these like super elite combos with.
So as of right now, one of Reena's biggest things is her ability to provide off-field damage. Or
there it is, off-the-field damage.
No, I'm right, just off-field damage. Now she's great on-field, but she's slow, and so you don't want to use her as a main DPS attacker. And if I'm not mistaken, they changed her to a support class instead of whatever it was before. Like a support anomaly is what she is now, I think. So she's crazy good at building up anomaly, just like Grace, but it works differently. Grace has a lot of mobility to be able to move around the enemy. Reena does not have as much mobility to move around the enemy, but some reason she's very elusive, and it's very hard to hit this character, again, when you know what you're doing.
So like right here, I'm gonna say like Reena, the thing with her, they both talk about like, he talked about her being able to build up the like the status thing, and Grace being able to do the same thing. Grace is like a melee character. With Reena, you can be pretty far back. So that's something I always like about her.
You need to be socially aware when you're playing this character. The main thing that you're gonna hear people talk about when it comes to Reena is the fact that she has penetration ratio for the entire team. She has a penetration ratio bonus for the entire team.
I believe penetration is broken in this game.
Are out on the field. Now, they don't stay out permanently. It's not something like, I don't even know how to think of this in another game, but I think maybe in Reena, right? If I played Reena for a little bit in Genshin, and Reena has her little water puppets.
Okay, so like right there, you saw she did her like move and she put the pets out, then they switched to a different character. Those pets are still out there. And so while those pets are out there, they're giving you the defense penetration buff, which if you played War of the Visions, like if you're from my War of the Visions channel, it just cuts through a percentage of the enemy's defense, and it's really good. But the thing with her, like if you pull Reena and you don't have other characters that could like take advantage of that, like maybe if you don't have another like good 5-star character, she might not be as useful.
Or something like that, puppeteers, and they're out for X period of time. Reena's puppets are the same way. The difference is Reena can control when the puppets stay and go. You can't do this off field, however, which requires you to now perform execution or high execution in order.
So what I really like about this too is like some characters do this thing where you can have them do their skill, and then while their skill animation is going, you can switch characters and then be controlling the character you just switched to while the other character's out there fighting. That's a little bit of an advanced mechanic. With Reena, that when he said that she's slow, he's right. Like you put your puppets out and then you switch, and you don't have to really like do anything. The puppets are there doing whatever they do, and you just get the buff. So she seems really easy to use. A character that I'd like to get, as long as the 4-star characters that I had were like strong enough to kind of carry the account, or I had another like premium character that would be my damage dealer. So that's the deal there. Okay, what do we got? Lyen next. All right,
Lyen. Last but not least, we have Lyen. Now, Lyen was also the tie for first that I had when it comes to like the best character that I think you should be looking for when it comes to Zenless Zone Zero's 5-star standards. But honestly, it's still between Lyen and Reena. Like at first it was Lyen and Colada. I think now it's Lyen and Reena. I have a lot more value in Reena than I do Colada, but that's not to say that Colada isn't like up there, right? Like all of these standard characters are so good that if you get one, you really have to hate the character. Me personally, I really don't like Colada's gameplay.
Okay,
so if I got
hold on, let me get a good frame to freeze
this
on real quick.
And that's why I'm saying
I just don't like the way this guy looks. Like in theory, I guess I just don't like furries very much. And if you look like that's no offense to anybody out there, I don't care. I don't want to play a furry in my game is what I'm trying to say. And this dude is like Wolf Boy. That's just not for me. So I think I can't play him no matter what.
But I understand.
Yeah, I still want to look at that the whole time.
But this isn't her panel
I like the way he dresses.
This is about Lyen. Lyen has the best daze combos in the game from what I've been able to do.
Of course, he has the best combos in the game. The character that I like won't play on
for meter build
aesthetics alone
and overall skill expression. Lyen has easy to use combos that are simple and effective. And they also have
easy to use, simple, effective combos. Great.
He has the regular basic attacks, and then he has these hold or charged basic attacks, and those also happen to his skill. So now you're able to do mixtures of fast attack, slow attack, fast attack, all slow attack, whatever the case may be. And you might be thinking like, what's the point of that? Like, why wouldn't you just use one or the other? And well, it's because they have different multipliers. Some of those kicks have higher damage values.
Okay, so I think I get it with this guy. So here's the deal with Lyen. He's really good, really easy to use, but I just can't stand to look at him. So I think if you're trying to make a choice and you don't mind his aesthetic, he might be one of the best choices for like people like me who play this game, as long as you can like, if that's the kind of character you want. For me, I'm definitely leaning towards Colada here. That pairs up with her bear bro. I'm gonna mute for a sec. Like this is probably the character that I'm looking for the most, and if not, I certainly wouldn't mind Grace. Let me find an actual video of Grace being on the screen right here, not being like comboed out. Man, the 4-star characters in this game, at least the ones that you start with, I had a lot of fun with. I want to say that too. So I'm really just kind of looking for one more to pair with them. Show me Grace, please. There we go, our bomb girl. So I think right now what I'm looking at here is Colada 1 for me, Grace 2 for me. That's where I'm sitting with this, and those are probably the characters that I'm gonna look for. Now, I don't do a ton of reaction content. This is actually the first like pure reaction video I've ever done. I think I did it right. Let me know how that went. Let me know what character, 5-star character you're gonna pull for. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is a brand new channel, trying to grow it up there. And go check out EO's video. If you want to watch everything that he said about all the characters, there's a link to his video down in the description, link in the comment section. Make sure to go check it out. This is his Zenless Zone Zero channel, which I know he is also trying to grow. So if you like that, please throw him a like and subscribe as well. Otherwise, y'all, Team Colada, Team Grace, something like that. We'll see how the polls go. We'll see how hard re-rolling actually is. I'll be doing that on the first day the game launches. Thank y'all for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.